Hi Dan, Oceana here with G3 Agency with your free website audit for Dr. Concrete in Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin. In this free SEO website audit provided by G3 Agency, I'm going to show you 3 to 4 things that you can do to get Dr. Concrete in front of people looking for concrete raising services in the Milwaukee and surrounding area. Like I said on the phone, I don't expect anything in return for this video. I am really trying to educate small business owners and help kind of put the power in their hands, the ability to go out and get these customers so that they don't have to depend on Home Advisor and House and these sort of bigger companies that are taking advantage of the small guys. And so this is sort of just it's a passion project of mine for sure, but it is also something that I do professionally with G3 Agency, my agency, my team over there. And so, of course, if you have questions, we are absolutely happy to answer them for you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me, right? So with that being said, I tried to focus, I basically just focused on what is actually in Wisconsin because I wasn't sure if there was, when it comes to traveling to nearby state, I wasn't sure if there was going to be an issue with that. Otherwise, I would have included some cities in the state below you, but as it stands, I wasn't sure if that was a good idea, if there was going to be an issue with that. So I just focused on Wisconsin itself. So let's just jump right in, right? So the first thing that I always look for when I'm auditing a website is a big click to call phone number right at the top. And you do have a phone number listed and it is in plain view, which is great, but it's not a click to call, meaning that if I was on my phone, like 70% of the people that will be on your website, if it was a click to call, I could just tap that with my finger and it would automatically pull up my phone app, and that would just make it a lot easier for people to call you. And that's going to help with the amount of people that actually call after landing on your site. Now, that's really all I'm going to say about the user experience. My focus, although I do enjoy playing around with user experience and helping the process make it easier for the people that are actually on the site, my main focus is actually about getting people to the site to begin with. And so that's what I'm going to be focusing on for the rest of this video, really. So the next thing I want to point out is content. So when I say content, I mean all of the words on the page and even the images. So if I click Control A on my keyboard, you'll see all the blue lit up here. That's the content that I'm talking about. You really want to increase the amount of words on your site. Google loves content, basically thinks that if you have lots of words, you must be an expert, and so it's going to see you as more relevant to its searchers. We suggest to our clients that they have at least 3,000 words on their homepage and 1,500 or more on their other pages, just to show Google that you're an expert in the field and that you really are the most relevant for its searchers. And then if I right click on an image and I click Save Image As, most of the time it works. Okay, that's not an option there. Let's try another image. Maybe this one, Save Image As. I can see this was saved as this string of letters and numbers here. That's not really helping. So what you want to do is actually re-upload all of these images, but not before saving them as key phrases that people are actually typing into Google each month when they're looking for your services and they're in your service areas. And I'll show you how to find those keywords, and I'll even show you some key phrases that I found that you might be interested in using. First, I'm going to introduce you to my favorite tool. This is Ahrefs, and it gives me an in-depth look into how a website's performing. Because like I said, it's one thing for it to look pretty and be easy to use. It's another thing for it to actually function as a lead generation machine, which is my specialty. So if we look here, you've got your UR score and your DR score. And what these are is on a scale from 0 to 100, how trustworthy does Google think that your exact web page is, your UR score, and your entire website as a whole, your DR score. And from this, I can tell that it's just not very. The answer is not. And so how we lift that score is not only with that content and images like I talked about, but also through backlinks and referring domains. Now, in case you don't know, I'm just going to explain these real fast. A backlink is any link coming from another website back to your site, and a referring domain is any website that has at least one of those links to your site on it. So you've got a total of 6 different websites out there pointing to your site a total of 25 times. And then we have organic keywords, which are basically how many keywords could a person type in and find you on the first 10 pages of Google results. Unfortunately, being on the second page is just about being as bad as not existing at all. So you really want to be on that first page, which is the top 10 results, which is why you could be showing up for 3 keywords but getting 0 traffic from it. So I'll show you some keywords you might be interested in. I used Ahrefs. And I put in Janesville, Madison, Milwaukee, Pleasant Prairie, and Waukesha. As you can tell, I'm not from your area. I put in those, and then I also cross-referenced it with using some fancy asterisks here as wildcards: jacking, slab jack, mud jack, driveway, sidewalk, concrete, of course, right? So now I can go through here on the side and look at different spots. So I can see, concrete. I can see everything that has the word concrete in it. Let's see. I'm gonna actually go like this. And we've got mudjacking here. 210 people are typing something that has to do with mudjacking in one of these areas. And this top one here, mudjacking Milwaukee, it's got 100 people typing it into Google each month. So 100 people every month on average are typing mudjacking Milwaukee into Google. And it's got a KD, or keyword difficulty, of 8. Now what KD is on a scale from 0 to 100, how difficult does this tool, Ahrefs, think it would be to get to the first page of Google? Now with a score of 8 out of 100, you would think that would be super easy, but it's actually a little higher than we usually go for, but still within the range of totally doable. And the reason I'm going after this particular keyword is because it's got the best volume and KD, so you want high volume, low KD is your preference. And this one's pretty good. This one's actually almost just as good, and I could have gone with it. Mudjacking Madison, Wisconsin. Now, I don't know if you want to go to Madison. I looked it up, and it's, a couple hours from you, so I'm not sure if you want that one, but I'm pretty sure you do like Milwaukee, because I found you and I was looking at Home Advisor for specifically for people who work on concrete in the Milwaukee area. So I'm going to go with the assumption that you do like to work in Milwaukee. And so we've got 100 there. And then there's also, there's some other ones like, concrete, contractors, Madison. Now, some of these are going to be less hopeful to you than others, of course. Someone looking for concrete contractors might be looking for your services, but they also, and more likely, they want someone who's laying concrete, right? So, so that's kind of a fun way to come up with some ideas for keywords to include in your site. So let's check out what happens when we look up mudjacking Milwaukee, like 100 people are doing on average each month. We usually get some ads at the top. They're not showing up right now, but who cares? Most people scroll past them anyway. And then we have down here the map pack. That's spelled MAPPACK, map pack. And how you get up into this spot here is a little different than how you end up in the organic results down here, which is what I've been talking about. So I'm going to take a pause real fast, talk about how to get up into this map pack, and then I'll go back to organic stuff. So what you want to do is look up your own name on Google and find your Google My Business listing, and that'll have all this information about you. And you want to make sure that your name, address, and phone number are, pardon, my alarm was going off reminding me to eat something. Oh shoot, I lost my train of thought. I got this. It'll come back around. I got this. That's right. So you want to make sure that your Google My Business listing is accurate. Specifically your name, address, and phone number are perfectly spelled correctly, because then you're going to take that information and add it to different directories like Yelp, Yext, City Star, White Pages, Yellow Pages, Facebook, etc. And you're going to go around, and that'll basically, adding your information to those is going to increase your relevancy and your credibility with Google, basically proving to Google over and over again, yes, you really exist, and yes, you really do serve this area, and that's really important to Google, and that will help you get shown up here. That's not nearly as exciting as showing up right here. So this is what's called the #1 organic result. It gets about 30% of the traffic that comes to this site, and here is who is sitting currently in that spot. So what we want to do is check out what they're doing, see what we can do better than them, basically, to get ahead. So they do have some content on their site, a bit more than you do, but still not that 3,000 minimum we were talking about. And then if we right click on an image, click Save Image As, we can see this was saved as Milwaukee Mudjacking Concrete Leveling. So you can see that they're taking advantage of that ability to save pictures as key phrases. So you definitely want to take advantage of that just to keep up, basically, let alone get ahead. And then yeah, you can see they did that here too. And then if we put them into our tool here, we can see that they're putting quite a bit of effort into ranking their home page, but they're not putting as much effort into their other pages, which is causing an imbalance and will lower their trustworthiness overall with Google. So that's one way. Another way we can get ahead, besides having more content and making sure to save all our images properly, is to actually make sure that our DR score is high as well, to give ourselves more of a balance. And you can see they don't have that many backlinks and referring domains. Now, you might not know that looking at this number, but this is not a very high number for this. So that's good. That means that it's not going to be too difficult to get ahead of them. Now I can see that they've been working on it since the beginning of the year, and this is steadily going up. So that's just going to have to factor in when it comes to the long-term marketing plan, if you choose to go and basically create one of those. And then we can actually go over here to their organic keywords and see what they're showing up for. And I just really quickly want to tell you a little warning about key phrases and keywords. So we can see here Mudjacking Milwaukee. That's that 100 we were talking about. It's got the Kiwi 100 volume, pardon. It's got the keyword difficulty of 8. This one's a good one because it's got specifically something that you do and some place that you do it. Those are two very important parts of a key phrase. You don't want something like this one that just says mudjacking. Now it's got 10,000 people searching for that every single month, which sounds great, right? You'd think, wow, that's a lot of traffic. But the issue with that is that it doesn't have anything to do with your area. So someone typing that in could be anywhere in the United States at all. So it really isn't going to help you if you just show up for mudjacking. However, if you were showing up for mudjacking Milwaukee and someone is near Milwaukee and they're looking up mudjacking, you are way more likely to show up for mudjacking for someone who's in the Milwaukee area, just because you show up for mudjacking Milwaukee, if that makes sense. I hope it does. And if not, please reach out and I'll try to re-explain it. So, just make sure that when you're going after keywords, you're going after ones that have something that you do and somewhere that you do it. And you want to go after high volume, low KD. It's got to check all those 4 boxes. And if it does that, then it's a good keyword for you. Okay, and then I did notice, this is something I wanted to point out really fast, something that they're doing. They noticed that there's a high volume for DIY mudjacking, and they made a whole page about it that basically shows them why that's not a good idea and talks them into making a call. So that's kind of the I can tell that they're at least, they have someone who kind of knows what they're doing working on it. So, okay, so that is it. I didn't change this slide. This is supposed to say mudjacking. But anyways, This is my information here for you to get a hold of me. Please feel free to reach out with any questions that you have, and I really appreciate your time watching this. I hope that you got some value out of it. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you.